those two guys, and they're just talking and they're bored. And then, do you remember that?
That would be us.
Hey guys, this is Steven, and this is Video Time Podcast. Today I have my brother.
Hey, I'm Joseph.
And we're going to be talking about the Mandalorian series. It's only 2 seasons, and yeah. Emily usually says that part.
Cool.
Okay, so Joseph. Joseph is my brother. He is my twin brother. He's not my twin brother. He's 10 years younger than me. He's a little more bigger than me, too. He's like my big little brother. And then pretty much he is more of a Star Wars fan than I am. I got him into Star Wars, right? I got you into Star Wars, right?
You and Uncle Tony.
Yeah, I got him into Star Wars a lot. I would play Battlefront. We used to play Battlefront a lot.
Yeah.
I would watch the Star Wars movies and stuff like that, and he would just be a little annoying ass. Just, what are you doing? And pretty much I would have to let him sit with me because my mom will be mad, or she'll be like, I'm gonna tell your dad. Yeah. So
You did take me to see Revenge of the Sith in theaters. Yeah. That was awesome.
Yeah. So that was
at
good.
midnight.
Oh, I did, huh?
The midnight release.
Yeah. So see, I'm a good brother.
One guy dressed up. Looked like an asshole.
What an idiot. No, but would you consider you're a big Star Wars fan?
Yeah.
Like
just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just
you
a
don't
little bit.
Like enough to be here talking about Star Wars, but not enough for people to be like,
I know more than you.
Yeah, he knows more than me. So the Mandalorian series, did you like it?
Yeah.
You like it's season 1, season 2? Yeah, you think it's the best Star Wars thing?
The best Star Wars thing? No.
What do you like? Clone Wars? What do you like out of all the series, out of all the movies? What is the best thing?
Well, I feel like you have to put the original trilogy by itself, and then you have to compare everything to like that. So like that has to stand alone. But anything else?
But like as a series, so like it's the first trilogy, then the second trilogy, and then the
prequels, the sequels,
then the third trilogy, and then the Clone Wars, and then you got Legos, and then you got the what is it? What are they called? Not single movies, but
I guess we would just call them Star Wars stories, like
a
Solo, Rogue One.
Yeah, pretty much like that.
Yeah, Star Wars stories.
So which one do you like the most out of all of them? And then now you have series too. So you have the Mandalorian, you have the
Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah, Book of Boba
Obi-Wan.
Fett. Obi-Wan. Oh yeah, I haven't even started.
You haven't even seen Obi-Wan?
No.
Fake fan, man. Fake fan.
I know. I need to start watching it. I've been fucking busy. I do this. I work. I do films. I have a good excuse. The girls just joined softball again, so now I have to do all that. But I need to.
Lame. You're old.
So what do you like out of everything?
Everything, like what I like the most.
Yeah. What do you like the most?
I guess right now, I've actually anything. I've actually been reading a lot of the Star Wars books, like listening to audiobooks at work. Hope my boss doesn't watch this.
So cool. So like, just the books? What books though?
My favorite ones have been the Bane trilogy, which is like how they go from like there used to be like lots of Sith, and now there's only 2, like, you know, with Palpatine and Vader. So they wanted to tell a story of like how they go from all that to just 2 guys. So that tells that story. But the best one is the Thrawn trilogy, I think it's called Heir to the Empire.
And what's that?
So like that's like the first book stories, like that's one of the first major stories after the original trilogy. It came out in like I think the early 90s. And it pretty much just describes what happens like.
And this was a book?
Yeah. It describes what happens after the original trilogy. So like what happens after Endor, it sets up that like story, which actually is kind of what we're heading towards in Mando.
Oh, okay.
Like the return of Thrawn. Like that's where Thrawn was introduced.
So I don't read the books, so I don't know much about it. I'm big on the movies. Like out of everything, I like Rogue One.
Rogue One's the best.
Yeah, I like Rogue One.
Anything filmed,
like
Rogue One's
that. So it's called like a solo film. Is it called a solo film?
Yeah.
Not Han Solo.
It's standalone.
It's standalone film. Yeah. So standalone film. So the Rogue One, I love that movie, just because it was just like, I maybe because I like it because I'm like, okay, I know exactly what was going on during this time when these two things were happening. So maybe that's why I like it. So
yeah, and it doesn't have like Jedi or Sith. You're like,
it's just
I love
regular
those guys.
people. Just regular people going at it. Like
Those guys are great, but then
Yeah.
it's all like, I want to watch some average Joes just go at it.
pick some guns up, shoot some people.
Yeah.
Like me and you can be those people. Probably not. No. We wouldn't make it.
I'm the guys in the hallway.
Shh. Keep on going, guys. If anything, we can be stormtroopers and
I'm
just miss everything.
I'm the guys cleaning up the dead body. Good job, guys.
Good job. Mandalorian. There's a new season coming up. Are you excited for it?
I kind of am. The story that was presented so far in the trailers, it didn't look that good to me, but nothing ever does.
But
it's better to be like not hyped for something, because then you're just gonna disappoint yourself.
Yeah, I always disappoint myself on a lot of things. Thinking of something else.
What was your favorite character from The Mandalorian?
From The Mandalorian, it was
introduced
actually
same or new or
so
older,
the best character. It's actually two characters. You probably already know where I'm going with this. They're
that blue guy. Great.
Yeah, nothing dealing with pretty much the whole show. I mean, one of the guys socked Baby Yoda in the face.
Oh yeah.
It's the two stormtroopers. Those two guys, and they're just talking and they're bored. And then, do you remember that?
That would be us.
So they're out there and they're just trying to shoot the can and they're missing. And he's like, "Hey, let me try." And then he's like, "Oh," they open the case where Baby Yoda is in, and then he bites him, and then he's like,
fucking wallops him.
Beats the crap out of a 50-year-old kid.
A 50-year-old.
Yeah, he's 50. Baby Yoda's 50.
He is
Or
50.
his name's not Baby Yoda. His name is Grogu. So
Baby Yoda's
actually,
better.
since we're talking about Baby Yoda, do you know what is Baby Yoda? Because I don't know what Baby Yoda is. Is that like
his species?
Like, I know it's a species, but did like Yoda die? So if Yoda dies, does he come? Like, or is it just the species?
No, that's just a species.
So then, how does he know the Force?
How does anyone know the Force? You're just born with it.
So you're born
it's like
with
Maybelline.
it.
You're just born with it.
But what are the chances
the
of like what is the species called?
We don't know.
Oh, okay.
We just call it the Yoda species.
So the Yoda species.
We've known of 4,
Just 4?
maybe 5.
Oh. Do you know why they were trying to get Baby Yoda to clone, right?
Probably to clone. They
To
probably
clone.
want to. It's like theories, but like I think the most one is either the most one that I think is most relevant is they're trying to learn to clone to eventually make Palpatine. Like they want to make a clone that can use the Force.
To make the Force. So for like people who haven't seen Mandalorian, what is it about? Like if you're gonna tell somebody about a show without like spoiling anything, even though we just said Baby Yoda, but everyone already knows who that is anyways because there's fucking commercials. It's on social media. But if you want to,
It's the Baby Yoda show now.
yeah, it's the Baby Yoda show. So if you wanted to highlight the show, how would you tell people like how to get people to watch it?
Space Cowboy.
Space Cowboy.
Space Cowboy.
Okay. There's actually a movie called Space Cowboys. Have you heard of that?
No.
No?
No.
It's an older movie. It's about like these guys that
I think I can guess.
do drugs.
Okay, never mind.
No, I'm thinking of Cocaine Cowboys. That's Space Cowboys.
Okay.
Never
That
mind.
makes more sense.
Yeah, wrong movie. Okay, so Space Cowboys. Yeah, it is like a Western movie.
Yeah, especially the first 2
Western
episodes.
show.
The
yeah,
first 2
pretty cool.
episodes are very Western.
Yeah, with like shootouts and just in the
Like the lone gunman
yeah.
walking into town, riding a blurg. Those are what they're called, blurgs.
Oh,
Best
blurgs.
name ever.
So season 1, season 2. From season 1, did you have a specific episode you liked?
From season 1.
Yeah, or go ahead and explain like the plot of it. So
Spoilers.
So
For a
explain the
2-year-old
plot. Explain the plot of the plot. Explain the plot of the whole series. Like, what is it mostly about?
So like I was saying, it's like the lone gunman. He's a bounty hunter. He's hardened. He's a good fighter. He knows how to bring in criminals. Like he's pretty much a badass.
Yeah.
However, he's thrown into a mission where he has to essentially kidnap a kid and turn him over to one of his mortal enemies, the Empire. But then he's like, nope, not gonna do that. So he decides to take the kid back, and they go on misadventures. Yeah. That's pretty much it.
You just go on adventures.
And then the Empire's like trying to track them down, but he's like, no,
so
he's too cool.
So pretty much it's just him with a kid, and he's just trying to protect the kid.
Yeah, which actually I think sounds like one of those old samurai movies.
Yeah, it sounds like a badass. So it's a badass guy just protecting a kid.
Yeah, and the kid is a magic space wizard.
Yeah, magic space. It's a baby Yoda.
I mean, that's how they refer. That's how they refer to them in the Mandalorian. Like they don't. I think they say Jedi a few times, but they refer to them as sorcerers, which is like, first of all, that just sounds cool. But I like doing stuff like that in Star Wars, where you're so removed from like the main guys. You're like, we don't know what they are.
Yeah, I don't know who they are.
Jedi? No, they're wizards.
What's a Jedi?
They use magic powers.
Magic powers.
Space magic.
What was your best like cameo?
Cameo?
Yeah.
Honestly, the best one was probably when at the end when the dark
season 1 or
season 1.
Season 1. Oh,
when the dark saber showed up, because like when you were watching the Clone Wars and then that kind of ended, and then we didn't get a lot of anything like that reference to Clone Wars at that point. So then we have Mandalorian, and then at the end we see a big part from the Clone Wars show, the dark saber, and like that was pretty cool. to see.
So okay, I have a question for you. So how, since we know the Empire. At the end of season 1 in Mandalorian, we see the Darksaber and it's with the Empire.
Yeah.
But in the Clone Wars, it ended. The Darksaber was with the good guys. So how do you think it doesn't even explain it, huh?
No, not yet.
What about in the books? There's anything?
I think in the comic books, but because I think it ended with Darth Maul. He had it because he killed the Mandalorian. Like that's how you have to get it. Like you have to fight for it.
In the Clone Wars?
Yeah, like he fights the guy and he's just like. It's a Mandalorian trying to fight a Sith, so he kicks his butt.
And he ended up with the sword. I thought it was. I thought the Mandalorians had the sword.
Well, they stole it back, and the Mandalorians had it. But then they're all like, Maul came in and was like, "Well, the strongest leads. I'm way stronger than you."
And he takes it.
And then he takes it, and everyone's like, "Okay, let's bow down to that guy."
Wait, so Darth Maul comes back to life?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That guy survives.
a lot of times.
A lot of times.
So
before Disney too, he lived a lot.
Oh dang, that's crazy.
He came back a lot.
Darth Maul, and he had a brother too.
Yeah, Savage.
Oh okay.
Or Savage, whatever.
Don't correct him on that. There's a lot.
I mean, they say Savage, but it's spelled Savage.
Best episode.
Best episode. What are the season 1 episodes? Okay, so he finds the kid. He saves the kid from a mudhorn thing, or he tries to track down the mudhorn. What's the third one? He gives the kid up and then rescues it.
Gives the kid up. Here, take the kid.
Give me that medal. And then they're on that space planet. Of course, it's a space planet. They're on that forest planet, and then they meet up with the ranger, not the ranger, the drop trooper, the Cara Dune, the big muscle lady.
Oh, the big muscle lady.
That's how you know her.
If you say that,
big muscles.
The big muscles.
Oh yeah.
So
let's see, and then the Suicide Squad episode, essentially, and then.
So that's your favorite one, the Suicide?
Of those, I would say Suicide Squad.
Oh,
where he has to do the prison break.
Yeah.
Mainly because of the horror elements in that. Like, I think they showed that off a little in the trailer. Like, they were trying to be more edgy, where he pulls the guy through the door, and it obviously shows him getting cut in half. Yeah. Like, I want more of that in Star Wars. I want more, like...
Gory stuff. You want gory stuff.
I want, like, adults.
You want rated R stuff?
Yeah, I'd say rated R.
I know, they should make rated R. They don't have no rated R Star Wars stuff, huh?
No.
I think if they made rated R Star Wars stuff...
I think Mando's the closest we've got. Yeah. Or...
They don't make rated R just because they want kids to see it. But it would be cool for one rated R.
Oh, but like we were talking about this before. As long as it's not a human, go crazy.
Yeah.
Kill as many of them as you want. Cut off as many heads as you want. It's the same thing with video games. Like violence, it's T as long as it's aliens. Like you can kill so many, commit genocide. As long as the blood is like blue or green and it doesn't look like a human, go nuts.
Okay, so now season 2.
Season 2.
Favorite episode in season 2?
I'm blanking. Oh, my first instinct is to say obviously the last one.
Oh yeah, because I don't know if you want to say anything, but
yeah, Luke Skywalker shows
up. Luke Skywalker. So that is pretty cool. That was probably one of the coolest moments. I remember watching that and I got chills because I already know who it was by when you see him come in, and then I'm just like, oh crap,
I'm surprised because I know some people were like really weren't surprised, like, oh, obviously, like a Jedi's gonna show up or Luke's gonna show up because of how they tried to contact the Jedi earlier, a Jedi earlier. But I was thinking, like, man, like they did such a good job in season 1 not bringing up Jedi or Sith too much. I was like, I hope season 2 does stay with that route, but they didn't. But as soon as I see that X-Wing pulling, I'm like, I don't care anymore. Bring him in.
Bring him in, and then he comes in and he just fucking crushes those. Those, what are they called?
I think they're Dark Troopers.
Dark Troopers, yeah. They just fucking crush those Dark Troopers. Like, he destroys them. And you think, like, oh, crap, they're about to get their ass whooped because those Dark Troopers are just, they're unstoppable.
They were originally, I think they were originally made to fight Jedi or, like, Force users. It was, like, from an old game.
To fight
like,
Jedi?
They're a cameo.
And then just one Jedi just
destroys them. It's Luke Skywalker.
Favorite character in season 1?
Season 1. It's got to be Quill, the little Ugnaught guy. That guy's awesome.
Yeah.
He's just like the wise old man, the voice of reason. Like, he's the one that sets the Mandalorian for, like, the redemption path. To go from, like, not crazy killer. He's not crazy, like, bloodthirsty. He's just, I guess he's still on his extremist path. Where, like, he has to do the duty of the bounty hunter. Like, he has to continuously be the bounty hunter. But then, like, I think he helps him see, like, dude, that's a kid. Can't do that.
You can't just go give away kids. In season 2?
Season 2, favorite character. How am I blanking? What about you? You go first, season 1. So
season 1? Well, Mando, the Mandalorian, because I like westerns, and he's like the coolest guy, and he's like a cowboy.
Basic answer.
So pretty, it's a basic answer, but it's a cool answer.
He's a good
I like him because I like cowboys, and I'm almost a cowboy almost every
You're
Halloween.
almost a cowboy?
Almost a cowboy. I know how to squirrel guns and everything, but that's the main reason why I like Mando, because it's like you said, it's a space cowboy. It's like a western movie.
Pretty much.
The second season kind of drifted a little bit away from it, but there were still like you said, the lone cowboy. It's just him by himself. He goes into a town. He comes into a conflict, and he's just like that.
He handles it.
Yeah, he handles it. So, and then in season 2,
for me,
favorite
I would
character.
say Ahsoka. Like, seeing her in live action was amazing. Because I grew up with the Clone Wars.
Yeah, you grew up with the Clone Wars.
So I thought that was awesome. Like, I loved Ahsoka from the moment she was in the first Clone Wars movie. People hated her. I loved her. I don't know, like 8 or 9 at the time. So I didn't know about, like, oh, that's a crappy character. No. That was an awesome character. She was a cool character.
She's a rebel.
Yeah. It's pretty much how it was.
Yeah.
I thought she was cool.
Didn't listen to
And now to finally like see her like go through all of Clone Wars, and now I get to see her live action. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. She's more wiser and older and cooler. She's pretty badass. Jedi?
She's not Jedi.
She's not a Jedi?
No.
So she never became a Jedi?
She was a Padawan, but then she was kicked out, and they wanted her back, but I'm not doing that. You guys betrayed me.
So this is not a big character. I mean, it is a big character, but it's Jabba's brother.
Which one?
Jabba's brother.
I don't remember.
The Jabba the Hutt.
He has a Zero.
Is it?
No, that's his uncle.
Who is it? Is it his uncle or brother?
What brother?
Is it a brother or uncle? Jabba the Hutt.
I don't think he has one.
Then who is it?
From season 2 of Mando?
Yeah. There's what's that species called?
The Hutts.
The Hutts. So
I'm Joseph the human.
The Hutts. For some reason I thought they had like royalty blood or something like that. No. So they're just like all.
They're a mafia. They're a crime family.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So they're a crime family. So they're not related. I thought they were related.
There was I don't think there was a Hutt in season 2. Are you thinking of Book of Boba Fett?
Oh shit! I am thinking of Book of Boba Fett.
I think those are like his cousins or something.
Oh, okay. I am thinking of. Is it Boba Fett?
Like the twins?
Yeah, the twins. It is. I am thinking of Boba Fett.
I think that's like his cousins or something.
Oh shit! Wrong show. Wrong show. But I like those guys. I like those guys. Those guys are cool.
Cool.
Yeah. But for season 2, now I gotta think. Damn. I swear to God, I was thinking. Season 2. Who do I like in season 2?
So we have like the Mandalorians like, what's her name? Not Tarvis.
Because I know it ends.
Bo-Katan, her sidekick. I forget her name. I mean, we get Fennec Shand back. We get Boba Fett back. Other returning characters. Grief Karga, the blue guy.
The blue guy? Which one's the blue
Remember
guy?
the first bounty he brings in, like the blue aquatic looking guy?
He comes back?
He comes back. Cara Dune's back. Mayfield, the guy from the Suicide Squad type episode. He was in that season.
Shit, did I see season 2? I mean, I seen season 2. Did I forget about it?
Might have forgot about it.
I probably forgot about it, and because my mind was set on
Book of Boba Fett.
Book of Boba Fett. Dang.
We can talk about that.
That is a cool show too. I like that show too. But
Flashbacks.
yeah, I like a flashback. I actually Book of Boba. I only seen like a couple episodes.
Didn't finish it?
I didn't finish it.
How far did you get into?
Probably to like the 4th episode or 5th. It's one of those.
What was the story of the last episode?
Oh my gosh, I can't remember now.
Because honestly, the last episode 5, 6, 7.
Those are the main ones.
Those are the best episodes.
And you would tell me too, did you watch it? And I was like, yeah, I watched it. And then you would be like, watch the next episode. And then I remember I just couldn't, because that's the time when the girl started softball the first time.
Oh, okay.
And then I just, every day after work, I would have to go to softball. Now I'm going to have to rewatch it. And then we're going to have to come back.
Rewatch it at the games. You've already seen them do it now.
You guys are at the games. I'm going to go watch Boba Fett.
Honestly, I don't remember the first few episodes of Boba Fett because those last ones are so great.
Dang it. So where I left off at was where the Hutts are there. So he talks to somebody. We find out.
Talks to somebody, we find out stuff.
Talk to somebody, find out stuff. Dang it, now I can't remember. I have to go rewatch it.
Did he recruit the Wookiee?
Yeah, he recruited
Black Chrysanthemum. Great
so
character.
that's what episode is that?
I think like 3 or 4.
Dang, so it's probably the 4th one was the last one I watched. So 5, 6, and 7 are the greatest ones.
Yeah.
Dang it. So I need to go watch those. And there's only 8 episodes, right?
Yeah, like 8 or 7.
Uh-huh. There's no season 2, huh?
No, not yet.
And then there's going to be a season 3.
Of Mando. In February? I think they will, though.
How's Obi-Wan?
Amazing.
Yeah.
So I would rank it lower below Mando. But
is it better than Boba?
Yes, I would say yeah. Because
and this is his
like
origin
I said,
story?
you took no, it's not his origin story.
Oh, okay. So what is it taking place in?
It's taking place between episode 3 and 4.
For Obi-Wan.
For Obi-Wan.
3 and 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
So after he fights Anakin or Darth Vader.
Uh-huh.
So it's between that time, between that and A New Hope.
I'm thinking of the different 3 and 4. I'm thinking of the first trilogy in between. No.
No.
Okay, so between episode 3 and episode 4.
Yeah.
So after he fights Anakin and then...
And like I said, you took me to see Revenge of the Sith in theaters. Like,
so it leads off right off of there.
A little bit, yeah. Like 10 years after.
Oh, that's cool.
So the space between episode 3 and 4 are roughly about 20 years, like 19, 20 years. I watched it like at midnight when it came out. That's how I watched it. Because I'm like, I'll be on Twitter the next day at work.
And then you'll see
Hope
something.
my boss doesn't watch this. I'll be on Twitter at work and I'll like read a spoiler and I'm like, glad I saw that already.
Star Wars is turning into a Marvel universe now.
There's a lot. Like I said, like how we were talking before, like when you get into Star Wars, you got to specialize in something. Like, oh, are you into the Sith? Are you into the Jedi? Are you into the ancient history, spaceships?
So out of everything you watch, do you say that you're more into Star Wars than anything?
Yeah. I've consumed
More than
Star
anime?
Wars content than anything. Because there's also just more Star Wars content than anything else.
Even than Marvel?
Yeah.
Really?
Definitely. Yeah.
Even with all the Marvel, with all their little 2000 shows they have?
Yeah. Way better. Well, I like them more.
No, way better. But I'm saying, is there more content?
Oh, content?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Well, because comics go back to like before the dinosaurs.
But comics are like a couple pages, and then you said there's books for Star Wars.
Yeah.
So it's probably like even then, huh?
You also split it up between the canon and the legends now. When Disney bought it up, I think in 2015, they said all the other stuff. No, that never happened. Here's our stuff now. Buy this stuff.
This is the real story.
This is the real story. But no, so now we split it up into what's canon now, what's legends. A lot of those books I like, they're actually legends.
So do you like what Disney's doing to Star Wars?
It's okay. I just
feel like it's okay.
I just like Star Wars. Like I'll consume anything Star Wars.
You'll watch anything Star Wars.
Yeah.
And if they make a rated R Star Wars, you'll watch it.
Hell yeah.
That'll probably be the best thing ever. What would be the best rated R Star Wars movie if you had the money to give it to a director and be like, make this movie happen?
I thought the concept was so edgy. It's a Star Wars book called, I think, Death Troopers. It's
what is it
It's
about?
basically a horror book. Like you're stuck on a prison boat and then there's like zombies. But like all the prisoners turn into zombies, all the guards turn into zombies, and there's like
another
5
zombie movie.
Yeah, but Star Wars.
Star Wars. Is there any Jedis on this?
No.
It's just stormtroopers?
There's gonna be a spoiler for this book. Okay. When I was like buying audiobooks, like there's like reviews and stuff. So sometimes I try to read them before I can before I buy them. Just like, should I waste my time with it? So I saw one of the spoilers where like, oh, there's only like 4 characters that survive. I'm like, God damn it. But then I was like, okay, the concept still sounds cool, so I bought it. So I'm like trying to figure out, okay, which characters live, which characters die.
Yeah.
And then Han Solo and Chewbacca show up. I'm like, okay, they're living.
They're living.
Which
that leaves
of you 6 of you 6, who's left?
So who's left? Where does this take place in? What time frame?
It takes place like a year before A New Hope.
Oh, okay. So if it was taking place after, or no, not even.
Well, this is
after.
Legends, so like they go way into the
forward.
future.
Oh, okay. So then you already know they're gonna stay.
And Chewbacca and Han Solo show up. Yeah, they're living.
They're living. If you want to see a solo movie, not a standalone movie, who would it be about?
I want it to be about some Joe Schmo that works in a warehouse that just ends up in the biggest, like not mystery, but like the biggest conflict. But it's centered around him.
Like somebody on the Death Star and they're just the janitor.
Yeah, like the janitor, the guy that has to clean up Emperor Palpatine from like like those Robot Chicken episodes.
The Robot Chicken episodes.
Just cleaning up all the dead bodies, like some random guy.
And he's the one that really saves everything.
He's the true hero. He's the true hero of this story.
They didn't even blow up the Death Star. It was just him. What does this button do?
We did it, guys.
This is more of a Star Wars episode, not a Mandalorian.
There were 2 costumes for him in The Mandalorian. His first one, and then when he gets all the Beskar, when he's all in silver. Which one do you prefer?
The all in silver.
I prefer the other one.
Why?
It just looks cooler.
It looks cooler?
It looks way better. But then I noticed something. Like, he kind of... Because I was playing another Star Wars game. It's called Knights of the Old Republic 2. And there's Mandalorian in there. He's Mandalorian. He's the leader of the Mandalorians. And they look exactly the same. All silver. Well, there's a slight difference with the helmet. But they look the same. And I feel like that's what they were kind of going for. Like basing his costume then and the way he acts as that Mandalorian. I feel like it's a reference to him.
That came out before?
Came out like 2005.
Oh, dang. Yeah.
Like a while ago. But it's like that character was like a lost Mandalorian. Like he was just a mercenary working for money and that was it. But then he goes on this grand big adventure with the main characters. And then he becomes the main Mandalorian. He becomes the leader Mandalore. But he's not like the other Mandalores before him. Like they're all like they want to just wage nothing but war, especially against the Jedi. But he's like, no, we're going to work with the Republic. We're going to rebuild the Mandalorians. So I feel like that's really going how the Mandalorian show is going now. Like they're kind of like referenced it off that guy.
Off that.
He was
just that one character.
Yeah.
Well, there's a big backstory to them too.
I think his name is Canderous Ordo. First of all, cool name. But his Mandalore name was like Mandalore the Preserver. So I feel like that's where they're going with that. Like they took a lot of inspiration from that guy, from that character. And
then for a lot of people who don't know, Mandalorian is a race.
No.
Or not a race. It's more of a...
I want to say a people,
like
but...
It's not a type
They're a group. Like anyone can join them. Anyone can be a Mandalorian. I hate that we haven't really seen non-human Mandalorians yet.
Right?
Say again?
They just have to live the way of the Mandalorians.
Yeah, but as we've seen, there's different...
ways.
This is the way. There are different ways, though.
There's a lot of different ways.
This is our way.
This is how we're going to do it for Disney. Who's the strongest Sith?
Strongest Sith?
If you were in a room with somebody, who would you not want to be in the room with?
From anything.
From any Sith.
Any Sith.
Where you know they're
What's
going to...
his name? Darth, not Tyrannus. That's Count Dooku. Damn, what's his name? He's from that game, Knights of the Old Republic. Knights of the Old Republic. Darth.
Who's the one that?
Nihilus. He's not even a person anymore. Like his body is gone, and he's just robes and a mask, and he can drain entire planets like from life.
Christ. So how did he get destroyed?
Because your main character is like a wound in the Force, so like they can live without the Force, unlike a lot of other like Jedi. Like if they Jedi or Sith that try to live without the Force, they can't do it. They can't survive. So he tries to drain her, and then he's like, "What? I can't do anything." And then they're like, "Let's lightsaber fight instead."
Okay, strongest Jedi.
Strongest Jedi.
Who do you think is the strongest Jedi?
I mean, it's gotta be Luke Skywalker. Like if Anakin reached his potential, it would have been Anakin Skywalker. But he never got to that point, so it would be Luke Skywalker.
Luke Skywalker. So he is the strongest Jedi.
Yeah.
Would you ever get a Star Wars tattoo?
Yeah. I want to get like fit first. I don't want it to be like already spread out. Already fat.
It's gonna be like, why do you have a popsicle on your arm?
Is that an otter pop?
It's a lightsaber. The most annoying character in Star Wars.
Most annoying? Damn. I mean, you probably think it's just like Jar Jar Binks or something.
Okay, I love
that guy.
First from the movies.
From the movies, most annoying character?
Yeah.
Damn. Like from all the movies?
Yeah.
From all the movies.
Someone that's just annoying, like, you just need to die.
I don't get that with anyone.
No? You like every single character? So you like all the character developments?
Well, there's not one that really sticks out. Like, I didn't hate Jar Jar. Again, I was a kid when I watched these movies.
Yeah, so
Jar Jar was the best thing ever.
Yeah, you're like... How,
no, it wasn't the best thing ever, but like he was...
He was cool. I like Jar Jar Binks, too. I just liked him because he was just goofy and he would talk funny.
Did you ever hear of the Darth Jar Jar theory?
No. What is the Darth Jar Jar theory?
He's the true mastermind.
How?
Palpatine's master? Jar Jar.
How's he the true master?
It was just... Because people
I like
always...
how you said it, sir. Have you heard of the Jar Jar Binks?
It's just a theory. Like, I obviously think it's not real.
What's crazy theories that you've heard?
Darth Jar Jar is one of them. Like, he's the true mastermind. Like, he's like pretending to be clumsy. He's using the Force. He's a mastermind.
What other things have you heard
of theories?
I know there's tons of theories.
None stick out too much. Not that I remember.
What's your best Star Wars memory?
Best Star Wars memory? My best is actually when I went to go watch Rogue One alone, like a loser.
Oh, yeah. Because I watched that too. Why didn't you tell me?
No one wanted to go with me.
You could have told me. I would have went.
That ending scene, the Vader hallway scene in the end of Rogue One, because I remember Uncle Tony telling me, like, he went to the drive-in to watch it in the 70s with everyone, with mom and them. And he was telling me, like, he was scared of Darth Vader. Yeah. Like, and you hear that a lot. Like, a lot of people that watched Star Wars.
Yeah, back in the day.
They were scared of him.
Yeah,
but then when I watched it, well, you thought so too. I watched on a little TV with the VHR built in. Like, you can barely see. Like, that guy's scary.
VHS.
Well, yeah.
VHR.
VHS. And I'm like, that guy's not scary. Yeah. Screw him.
He's scary.
I'm tough.
To me, he was scary.
And then I see that scene. I'm like, okay, I get it now.
Yeah.
Like, that's scary.
What's the best way for someone to get into Star Wars? What would you suggest them watching first? If there's someone like, you know what, I want to start watching Star Wars.
Is it release order?
In the order?
Of, like, when stuff came out.
Also the release order.
Yeah, of, like, the year.
So it would be the first trilogy.
Watch the original trilogy. Then the prequels. And then... I would say start with all the movies first, and then dive into everything else. Because I feel like there's an order of things. So the movies always come first. The movies are the main canon.
So everything has to go off the movies.
Yes, because we've had books. Like, there's an Ahsoka book, and there's like.
I feel like the books have more story into it, but it doesn't go off some of the movies.
No, because there's some stuff in the TV shows. Or the Clone Wars or whatever that contradict the book, but we consider the TV shows more canon. So essentially it goes the movies, the TV shows, then I would say the comic books, and then pretty much everything else.
Video games.
Video games are probably somewhere in there.
That's it. So video games are last.
I would say they're probably tied into what
the books mostly.
TV shows. I would say
TV shows.
the ones now are more tied into the TV shows.
Oh, okay.
Like the hierarchy.
What about the Lego?
The Legos. That's the true canon right there. That's the true story.
Lego. So pretty much, if I wanted to start getting into the universe of, because there's people that want to get into like the Marvel universe, and they don't. I feel bad for them.
I have no idea where to start.
There's tons of movies and tons of shows for that.
Yeah, that's too much.
That's too much. But for Star Wars, I feel like it's easier for someone to get into Star Wars because it's only 9 movies, 10, 11. Only 11 movies, but it's a big universe to get into. Yeah. So only 11 movies, only at 3 hours each. But it's like the Lord of the Rings. But those are badass movies.
Those are good movies.
Those are really good. I can talk about Lord of the Rings. I can talk about the new show that's going to come out on Amazon. You heard of it?
Yeah.
Are you going to watch that?
Probably.
Do you have Amazon Prime?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I do. Okay, so for people to get into Star Wars, watch them in order.
Yeah.
Watch
and then,
the shows.
First watch the movies, and then whatever you want to be into, like, because those are different eras. Mm-hmm. Like the Clone Wars era is the prequels, and then we have the Age of Rebellion, the original trilogy. Then we have the First Order era. So you just kind of choose an era of what you want to dive into more, of what interests you. Then we have all like how we said, the legend stuff.
Yeah. The
legends, like that goes back into like 3,000-4,000 years before Darth Vader and all that.
Dang. Too much to take into. But I'm
consuming all of it.
You're like, I know everything about it. Not
I'm listening to the audiobooks. I'm playing the games right now.
Do you never get confused?
On canon.
Sometimes.
A little.
You're like, this is not true.
Well, because they do contradict each other sometimes.
Yeah. What's the biggest contradiction?
I mean, all the stuff that happens after Endor. Everything. All the stuff that happens after Endor. Like, it's totally different. Like, that's when, I don't know if you know Thrawn, the blue guy.
No, I don't. But yeah. No, but.
So, he was originally, like, made for those 3 books I was talking about. Mm-hmm. And he was, like, the best character ever at the time. Like, he was, like, a skilled tactician. He was, like, from the Empire. Uh-huh. He was like the only non-human in the Empire, but he was like the highest rank of like Grand Admiral. And then like, the Empire is getting all like crushed by the rebels. And then he comes in like 6 months, he flatlines them. Like he stomps them. He rolls over them. He takes them out with like nothing. He has like no resources. And then he builds it all up. Jesus. And then like he gets stabbed or something. And then they're like, oh, there he goes.
That's it.
Yeah.
Does all this badass shit and then gets stabbed.
Yeah.
Dang.
He smiles while dying, though.
Is it stabbed by somebody is it by, like, someone close to him, or is it...
Yeah, his bodyguard. Because there's, like this whole intrigue thing of, like, his bodyguard is a bunch of these aliens that are loyal to Darth Vader. Uh-huh. But they don't know really what happened with Darth Vader, so they're all like, oh, well, this guy's leading the Empire now. Darth Vader's with the Empire. Follow this guy. But then Princess Leia goes in, and they find out, like... oh, you're the daughter of Darth Vader? We're going to follow you. And then they find out, like, they're pretty much slaves. Yeah. So then Leia's like, don't be slaves. And they're like, okay.
Don't be slaves. Don't be slaves. Okay.
I'm dumbing down, like, an entire book series, but yeah.
Cool. I will not read.
But then he's... so that's what his story was in, like, Legends. But now in canon, we get... well, now we have 6 books of him. I've listened to 3 so far. Really good. His books are pretty much like Sherlock Holmes. Uh-huh. Like he analyzes everything and all that. Like the Sherlock Holmes movies where like he breaks down like every little detail of an attack or something. That's what Thrawn does.
Oh, okay.
But then in the canon, we see he was in the Rebels TV show.
So when I said a standalone movie, you wouldn't want to see a standalone movie about Thrawn?
Well, honestly, that's what the
books are pretty much.
The Mando stuff is leaning towards. It's pretty much all leading to Thrawn. This is what I'm guessing. Like his return.
That's what you're guessing?
His return.
So he'll come in season 3.
Yeah, because in Legends.
Did you see anything in the trailer?
In the trailer?
Yeah.
No.
Leading into that? No.
About Thrawn?
Yeah.
No, we get that from the season 2 episode with Ahsoka. Mm-hmm. Like she asks like some lady like, "Where's Thrawn?"
Oh, they do say that?
Yeah, they ask, "Where's Thrawn?" So
when you heard that, you're like,
I didn't read any of the books at that point. Like I knew who he was. Like I watched like videos on him. Like I kind of knew who he was, and then I read the books and read more books. and like he's a great character, and so that's what they're leaning towards now. I think that's what all those TV shows are leaning to, like Book of Boba Fett, Mandalorian,
it's all leading
the
to
future Ahsoka show. I think they're all leaning to like Thrawn coming back, because in the Rebels TV show, he gets like shot into space. They have to get rid of him, so they shoot him into space. So it's like probably like a year or so before before A New Hope in the timeline. So they're like, we gotta get rid of you. You'll come back later.
And he's gonna come back.
He's probably gonna come back
with Disney.
Yeah, and so it's probably gonna be Ahsoka, Boba Fett's crime
She was
syndicate,
pretty cool.
and the Mandalorians under
you
Din
think-
Djarin.
so
They're
you
probably
think-
gonna like
So you
go
think they're
against
trying
Thrawn.
to like Marvel it, like they're trying to
sure.
build up all these characters to bring one
Against
main
the
character.
Thanos.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be pretty cool. Actually, they're doing something pretty smart, I guess.
Yeah,
Disney's pretty smart.
they know how to make money.
Oh, so that's what I was gonna ask you. YouTube stuff now.
Okay.
So there's one particular one I like. It's where we actually get to see Obi-Wan and Darth Vader fight.
Like a more modern fight.
Modern fight.
I showed you that one.
Yeah, you sent me that. That was
cool.
That was badass. There's a couple different ones, but that one is the one. What is that? What is it called?
It's like SC-38 or something. I think that's like their project name.
Yeah, if you guys
But that's
haven't
what it
seen
was
that, you
released
have to
as.
see it. SC
38.
38. It's when Obi-Wan Kenobi fights Darth Vader, because what you see when Obi-Wan and Darth Vader fight, it's like three little ksh, ksh, ksh.
A turn. Like Obi-Wan turns very slowly.
And then Darth Vader goes, and then he just disappears. That's
Yeah.
it. But then someone remade, like, it's like the actual face and everything. They did like deep face or something.
Deepfake.
Deepfake.
They
Deepfake
put
his face.
Alex, I think his name is Alex Guinness. They put Alex Guinness's face on like an actor.
And they did a crazy job of like fighting, and they choreographed it and
great.
everything. And it looks pretty badass.
It's like a modern Star Wars film.
Yeah, a modern Star Wars, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Any other YouTube cool stuff that we can check out?
Back to that video real quick though.
Oh, okay.
Darth Vader punches Obi-Wan in that fight.
He does?
He physically punches him. I was like, oh my god.
I gotta
It's
see it
meaty
again.
too. It's a meaty punch.
So it's like a...
He wallops him.
I gotta rewatch it.
It's the funniest thing ever. Watching a 40-year-old man in a robot suit punch a 60-year-old man.
Or it's like the stormtrooper who socks the baby Yoda.
Yeah, it's
That's
funny.
pretty fun.
Slapstick.
I love
But
that
like,
stuff.
you know, old people.
Yeah, old people. I know about old people. Look where I'm at.
Damn, you're 34.
Yeah,
Gonna be 34.
going to be 34. We're only 10 years apart. That's it. Well, that concludes this episode of Video Time Podcast. Thank my brother for being here today, and we'll see you guys in the next podcast.